Hello students, I hope that you are good, well and fine. Today we will be seeing about maximum and minimum. Okay, and in today's session we will be seeing the second derivative theorem. Okay, so let's see. So second derivative test, what it says. Let f be a function defined on an interval I. C belongs to the interval I. Let f be twice differentiable at C. Okay, we want our f to be twice differentiable at C. Then first thing, if x is equals to C is a point of local maxima, if f dash C is equals to 0 and f double dash C is negative, the value fc will be local maxima. If f dash C is 0 and f double dash C is positive, then fc will be minimum value of f. And f dash C is 0 and f double dash C is also 0, then test does not concludes anything, test just fails. Okay, I hope this second derivative test is very clear to you. The statement is very clear to you. In this, if you have to use the second derivative test, your function must be twice differentiable, then only you can do. If first of all, what you have to do, the common thing is that you have to find the f prime C or f dash x and then put it equals to 0, and whatever the points you will get, those will be your points of candidates for local maxima, local minima or inflection points. Okay, clear? And another thing, to find that local maxima, this point is local maxima or minima or other thing, then you have to find the double derivative and put the value of C. If it is negative, then you will get your maximum point, and if it is positive, then you will get your minimum point. Okay, now let us move next. So as f is twice differentiable at C, we mean second order derivatives. Okay, second order derivative. Okay, now let's see an example. This is your example. If you try to see, you all know that the graph will look like what? The graph will be like this. Okay, and at x is equals to 0, it is not differentiable. At x is equals to 0, it is not differentiable. So what will happen? Okay, so you cannot apply your what? So you cannot apply a second order, or you cannot find second order derivative. Okay, clear? So second order second derivative test will fails here. So we will be using first order. Okay, so what will happen in the first order? We must know what, that in the right hand side and in the from the left hand side, if you approach, the f prime will be what? Negative or positive. As you know, if you move from the left to right in this direction, your f prime will be negative, and if you move from right to left, it will be positive, as you can see. Yes, so this means sign is negative to positive. This means decreasing to increasing. Yes, in this way. So that's why it will be your point. This point f of 0 will be your minimum point, local minimum. Clear? Local minimum. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, simple. Okay, let us move next. Now this, so find f prime first. So f prime will be 12x cube plus 12x square minus 24x. Okay, now what? Now take 12x common. Taking 12x common, you will have x square plus x minus 2. Yes, okay, simple. And this is what, if you see, this is just x minus 1 whole square. So a square plus b square. Okay, a square plus b square. This is not x minus 1 whole square, sorry for that. Okay, clear? Now what will happen? Now I have to factorize it. So what will be the factors? As you can see, it will be x will be minus b plus minus root b square minus 4ac, so this will be 3. Okay, 3 by 2. So you have two things. So one is just a 4 by 2 means 2, and another will be just minus 1. So this means it will be 12x, x plus 1 and x minus 2. Simple. Okay, now this means put it equals to 0, then you will have candidates for local minimum, local maximum and inflection point. So x is equals to 0, minus 1 and 2. Okay, now what? Now the second order derivative you have to find. Okay, so second order derivative will be 36x plus 24x minus 24. Take 24 common. Taking 24 common, it will be 3, it will be x square. Okay, 3x square plus x minus 1. Okay, now put x is equals to 0. It is negative. Okay, for x is equals to 0, for this f double prime is negative. Negative means maximum, local maximum. Okay, now f of minus 1, f double prime of minus 1. So minus 1 minus 2, this will be 3, this will be positive. So f double prime will be positive here. What about 2? If you put 2, it will be 9. Okay, it will be positive. It will be what? 4, 12. 12 plus 1 will be 13. So positive. So here you also get the same sign. So this means local minimum. Okay, and here local maximum. So f of 0 will be your local maximum. F of minus 1 and f of 2 will be your local minimum. Clear? I hope that it is clear how we use the second order test, second derivative test. Okay, simple. Okay, let us move next. Now in this, find first derivative. So first derivative will be 6x square minus 12x plus 6. This means take 6 common, you will have x square minus 2x plus 1. Now this will be your what? X minus 1 whole square, a square plus b square minus 2ab. Yes, now as you can see, your first derivative is positive. So when we have first derivative positive, okay, this means your graph is increasing. Okay, your graph is always increasing. Simple. Your graph is what? Your graph is always increasing. Okay, so this means just what? And if you find the double derivative, then you will have what? 12x minus 1. Okay, 12x minus 1. And this means what? If x is greater than this, x is greater than 1, x is greater than 1, then your f double prime is positive. And if x is less than 1, your f double prime is negative. Then what will happen? Then if you try to see, this is a point of inflection. Okay, this is a point of inflection. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, this is a point of inflection. Okay, let us move next. Now this question, if two positive numbers whose sum is 15, okay, let's take a number x, then another will be x minus 15 minus x. Okay, sum is this. Now the sum of whose square is okay, sum of squares, like this means I'm taking this as some function hx. Okay, so this will be okay, so a square, sorry, 15 square means 225 plus b square means x square minus 2ab means 13x. So it will be 2x square minus 30x plus 225. Okay, clear? Okay, now h dash will be what? 4x minus 30. Now taking it equals to 0 will give me the possible candidate for inflection points for local minima and maxima. X will be what? Your 15 by 2. F will be your, X will be your what? 15 by 2. Now put H double prime is 4 and it is positive. So this means H double prime of 15 by 2 is also positive. So this means what is happening? So if this is positive means you will have minimum. Okay. So minimum value will be H of 15 by 2. H of 15 by 2. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so your value will be X is equals to 15 where you will get your minimum value. So X will be your 15 by 2 and another value will be what? As you can see, also 15 by 2. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. Let us move next. Now, remark, as we just saw example, one may also prove that two positive numbers whose sum is k and the sum of whose squares is minimum and the sum of whose square minimum are k by 2 and k by 2. As you just saw 15 by 2 and 15 by 2. Yes, both will be the same. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. The remark, the questions, examples. Okay, let us move next now. Okay, so we have just used the first derivative test instead of second derivative as it is easy and shorter. Okay, now let us move to another example. So this example says, as you can see, this example is saying that if let AP and BQ be two vertical poles at points A, so AP and BQ. Okay, clear. AP is 16, BQ is 22, AB, if you join them, you will have 20. Then find the distance of a point R on AB. R is on AB somewhere here. This is your, say, R. From the point A such that what? RP. So this point RP and RQ is minimum. I want this to be minimum. So first of all, find this thing. So this thing will be what? So you know triangle, this will be your right angle triangle, this will also be your right angle triangle. Okay, then what will happen? As you know, then PRP whole square is just nothing, 16 square plus this. Yes, 16 square, which means AP square plus AR square. Yes, and RQ square is what? RB square plus BQ square. Yes, now add them. You will have what? This, I'm taking this as F. So Fx will be what? AP square plus AR square plus RB square plus BQ square. Okay, now what will happen? Now AR we don't know yet. AR is, let AR to be X. So this I am taking as X. Okay, so AR is just nothing but X, so it will be X square. Now what about AP? AP is 16 square, 16 square. Now RB will be 20 minus X, RB will be 20 minus X. Okay, RB will be 20 minus X. Now plus BQ, BQ is 22 whole square, BQ is 22 whole square. Now as if you try to simplify it, what you will get is, let me just write it for you. It will be 2x square minus 40x, 2x square minus 40x. Please do the respective calculations. So you will have plus 1140. Okay, this will be a simplified version. Now what you have to do, the find the first order. We want this to be minimum thing. So this means first of all I want to know the possible candidates. This means f dash, find the f dash and put it equals to 0. So it will be 4x minus 40. 4x minus 40, putting it equals to 0, x will be 10. Putting it equals to 0, x will be 10. Now double derivative will give me 4. 4 will be positive. As you know, this means if f double prime at this point is positive, this means this point will be my local minimum. So x is equals to 10 will be what? My local minimum. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. So you will get AR is equals to x. Okay, simple. Okay, so the point will be 10 meters. Okay, from A. Okay, from A it will be 10 meter. I hope it is clear to you. Let us move next. Now, okay, just moving next. So what you will get, let me just see. Okay, so skip them. So now maximum and minimum value of a function in a closed interval. So what do we mean by that? Quite simple. So let us consider a function f given by this thing. Okay, now x belongs to 0 to 1 open interval. So we have taken this as open interval. Now fx is this. Okay, so observe that the function is continuous. Obviously the function is continuous on this open interval, and neither has a maximum value or nor has a minimum value. Yes, we already saw such example also. You cannot get f of c such that f of c is greater than equal to f of x for every x in this interval. Obviously we are talking about c belongs to this interval. Okay, clear? And this also cannot possible. Okay, now what happened? Further, we may note that the function even has neither a local maximum nor a local minimum value. Yes, okay. Now what? Now, however, if we extend the domain of f, to the closed interval, if we take closed interval, then f still may have not local maximum. F still may not have local maximum minimum value, but it certainly does have maximum value 3. As you can see, f of 1 will be what? Your 3, and minimum value will be f of 0, which is equals to 2. Okay, the maximum value 3 of f at x is equals to 1 is called the absolute maximum value, global maximum or greatest value. Global maximum you can say, or greatest value. Okay, similarly the minimum value 2 of f at x is equals to 0 is called the absolute minimum value. What? Absolute minimum value, G. Absolute minimum value, global minimum or least value of f. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. So what we just saw is that if you take closed interval, then what it impacts, it might change the global maximum or global minimum perspective. Okay, but it might does not affect local maximum or local minimum thing. Okay, clear? I hope it is clear to you. Okay, now let us move next. Remark, consider the graph given. This graph of a continuous function defined on a closed interval. Okay, observe that the function f has a local minimum at x is equals to b. As you can see, local minimum at x is equals to b. Okay, and local minimum, okay, value will be what? F of b. The function also has local maximum, as you can see here, local maximum at x is equals to c. Okay, and the value will be f of c. Simple? Clear? Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Okay, so now what? Now let us move next. Now, also from the graph it is evident that f has a absolute maximum value of f of a and absolute minimum value f of d. Further note that the absolute maximum value of f is different from the local maximum value. So f of a, the absolute minimum value f of d, okay, is different from the what? Local maximum minimum value of f. Okay, clear? Okay, I hope it is clear to you, just what we saw. Okay, let us move next. Okay, now, so this theorem, let f be a continuous function. So if you have a continuous function on an interval I, closed interval, then f has a absolute maximum value of f, attains it at least once in I. Okay, also f has a absolute minimum value and it attains at least once in I. Clear? Okay, I hope that it is clear to you. Okay, let us move next. Now theorem 6 says, let f be a differentiable function on a closed interval I and let c be any interior point of I, then first f dash c is equals to 0 if attains its absolute maximum value at c. Second, f dash c is 0 if f attains its absolute minimum value at c. In view of the above two things, we have the following working rule for finding absolute maximum value or minimum value of a function in a given closed interval. Okay, clear? Okay, let us move next. So the working rule will be, first find the all critical points. How you are going to find? So first find the f dash prime and put it equals to 0. Okay, or f is not differentiable, find all such points. Okay, now take the endpoints of the interval also. Okay, so you have some x from here and also endpoints you must take. Now what? At all these points, calculate the value of f, identify the maximum and minimum values of f. Out of the values, this maximum value will be the absolute maximum value of f and the minimum value of minimum value will be the absolute minimum value of f. Simple. Okay, let us do an example. So f prime of x will be what? F prime of x, as you can see, will be, if you try to see, this will be 6x square minus 30x plus 36. Taking 6 common, what will you have? You will have x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, now as you can see, this can be broken down into two. What? So this will be x is equals to, so you can see the product of the roots will be what? Product of the roots will be 6 x1 if r1 r2 and the sum will be minus b, as you can see, just 5. So 2 3, you will have 2 and 3. Yes, 2 and 3. So putting 2, what you will have? 10, and yes, 2 is the root. Now 9 minus 15 plus, yes, so 6 x minus 2 x minus 3. Okay, clear? Okay, now what will happen? So putting it equals to 0, you will have what points? You will have x is equals to 2, x is equals to 3, and 2 more points, 1 and 5. X is equals to 2, x is equals to 3, and 1 and 5 end points also. Now find f of 1. F of 1, you can see it is 2 minus 15 plus 36 plus 1. Now f of 2 will be 2 multiply 8 minus 15 multiply 4 plus 36 multiply 2 plus 1. Now f of 3 will be, f of 3 will be 2 multiply 27 minus 15 multiply 9 plus 36 multiply 3 plus 1. Now f of 5 will be 2 multiply what? It will be, I think, 25 multiply by 5. Yes, 5 cube will be 125. 125 minus 15 multiply with 25 plus 36 multiply with 5 plus 1. So f of 1, you will have 20 of 24. This will be 29. This will be 28, and the last will be 56. Okay, please do calculate them. Now, as you can see, this will be your maximum. The highest value is 56 among them. Okay, so your maximum, absolute maximum, will be 56 at x is equals to 5. Okay, clear? And the minimum value will be 24 at x is equals to 1. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, simple. Okay. So I hope it is clear to you now. So that's it for now. Okay, that's it for now. We will be, I hope that you understood everything, every concept, every example, every theorem. So we will be stopping here. We will be back with more examples, with more problems to get familiar with this concept of maxima and minima, with first order or first derivative test, with a second derivative test, how we used it, how we find the local maxima, local minima, how we find absolute maxima, absolute minima, everything. Okay, so that's it for now. Thank you.